everybody, and welcome once again to Casual Gamer Oz as we continue our Season 1 career mode. Just thought I would come in a little bit early here and we'll hear from our dear old bitchy friend of Emma. Let's see what she's got to say first of all. Yep. A new rival. Who is it? Who is it? It's the Hulk! They've given me somebody who actually is probably a little bit closer to us on track. Yeah, welcome back to Casual Gamer Oz. We're here continuing our first season career mode on F1 2016. My name is Ben Waterworth. The driver's name is Ben Waterworth. We're driving for Sauber. I'm now the first driver. We got promoted last round. Had a fairly up and down season. And given we're Casual Gamer Oz, we're doing it this the casual way. One lap qualifying, racing line on, all the usual mumbo jumbo that you've heard a lot of the times throughout this season. Thought we'd join in a little bit early. Now, before we head into qualifying, let me just get out of that screen and we will just get very much close to starting qualifying for you. We can take a little bit of a look back at the last round in the US. Why not? Qualified 17th position was fairly standard. Was pretty happy with how that turned out. And the race itself got off to a very interesting start. I thought I had a perfectly open track coming into turn one, but I managed to clip a Renault, forced me off the circuit, overtook a few cars illegally, which then made me give those positions back. And before you knew it, I then was back into the race and challenging quite well. And ultimately, I sort of locked the wheel, braked myself way too much, ended up spinning into a Haas before getting taken out by a Williams in Felipe Massa. So that was my US Grand Prix. We are here though at the Autodromo the Mexican Grand Prix. Yeah, let's try that again, Ben. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Thank you very much. I've been to this track again. I've been very, very lucky. I went here 2016, a week after the US Grand Prix. One of the best atmospheres you will ever witness at a Grand Prix. Was on the main straight, but just Perez, Gutierrez were racing at that circuit. Amazing atmosphere. The Mexicans are very passionate Formula One fans and very much well worth the trip if you go there. We've got a wet qualifying. I like this circuit. Let's get in to the Mexican Grand Prix for Season 1 of career mode. Now, the wet handling Sauber seems to be fairly decent. So if we can get a decent qualifying position, we should hopefully get a wet race. Obviously, our straight line speed is not brilliant, but we'll see how we go. Now, I was lucky enough to be in that grandstand there on the left-hand side, so that is where I sat. For those playing at home who want to know a little bit more about my experiences at Formula One races, just thought I would update you there. Now, it seems to be that this Sauber is poor in the straight line speed, but in the corners, it makes up a lot of ground, which is interesting considering. Obviously, one of the two pole positions they got this year was at pretty much the highest speed circuit of Monza. So, there you go. Alright, we're off to a very good start here. Just tiptoeing our way around Mexico in the rain. Again, this Sauber likes the wet. 2 sectors, 2 purple times. So if we can maintain this, could we get our third pole position? Not if Rosberg sweeps around me like that. Even if we don't get a pole, we've had plenty of top 10 positions this year that, you know, we'll take it again. Still in 9th position at the moment in terms of the pace. Coming now into the baseball section, the baseball stadium. What a fantastic part of the circuit this is. I was wanting to sit in this section for the Grand Prix when I went there, but I went with the cheapo route instead. But considering the Mexican Grand Prix is one of the cheapest Grand Prix to go to, I should have probably splurged a little bit. Because you get to see the podium in that section, you get to see so much, you get to go on the track there. It's great. Now we're coming into the final section. Now look how close I am to Nico Rosberg when I'm still only going to be in 9th position here as I cross the line. Did I get 9th? I did. I'll take it. Top 10. Again, Jeff is happy. Sauber is happy. Another top 10. It's going to be at least my 6th or 7th top 10 for the season. So, you know, we'll take it. Good job. Let's hope for a dry race tomorrow, and let's see how we go with that. Okie dokie. So, I mean, we want a dry race, but look, we seem to do well in the wet, so, you know, we wouldn't be opposed to a wet as long as I can just keep it on the island and concentrate. So, I mean, I could risk it and go for the wet tyres on an interbase circuit, but again, as we've sort of discovered, the recommendations from the team generally pretty good. Alrighty, 474 resource points. That should give me something that I can update. I'm beating Hulkenberg. That's good. Now let's just have a bit of a gander at the laptop. We'll go to R&D. Yeah, I can. So I can upgrade the ignition system slightly. Enhance ignition system controls spark plug time in a more efficient manner, thus creating additional engine power. Or we can streamline the shape of the suspension arms, resulting in less drag without compromising the center setup. Let's continue on our updating here of the drag. We'll just keep it updated in terms of the different sections. So we'll keep it all very standard. We're still, I mean, if you look at that, the comparison there, we're still well behind all the other teams. But, you know, look at Haas. Look at Haas there. And Mano, they're ahead of us and they haven't scored any points. So there you go. Alrighty. Mexico, ladies and gentlemen, we're ninth on the grid. Now, I bet you're all probably watching this at home going, oh, I give him 3 corners until he damages his front wing. We'll see. We're going to dry race, so that's something. Round 19, let's have a look at the grid. Now, I have a bit of a sneak before. I believe Alonso's on the front row, is he not? No, Rosberg, Hamilton, Alonso's third. McLaren, fourth and third there. Rosberg needs to win. I hope Hamilton finishes a lot lower than second to get this gap going. Ricardo, Vettel, Raikkonen, Verstappen. There I am in 9th. Bottas in 10th. Perez, Hulkenberg, Massa, Grosjean. Then we're going to have the Toro Rossos, the Sainz and Kvyat, Magnussen and Gutierrez, Palmer 19th, Verline 20th. Those are Manor 21st and Nazar 22nd. They've dropped down a lot. They were qualifying very highly in the middle part of the season, but they've gone back to kind of where you would expect them to be. Alrighty, here we go, folks. Mexican Grand Prix. Let's put us straight into rich mode, shall we? Let's start that from the beginning. And we are... Go, 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 go! Very long straight here at the Autodromo Jimenez Rodriguez, and I'm going to risk it by going across here to Kimi Raikkonen. We know he's taken me out a few times this season, but I don't like this position I'm in. I'm going to be on the outside, and I feel like I'm going to have some cars go around me there. Oh, but I've braked myself into a very handy position. There's a yellow flag behind me. I've had an illegal overtake. Hamilton's dropped back, which is good for the championship, because Rosberg leading, Hamilton in 4th position. That is going to be very good for Nico Rosberg fans. And at this point in time, if I can even make it worse for him by shoving him back a little bit more, thank you very much. And he's found himself in a podium position. What a start here by Ben Waterworth in the Sauber. I will take that every day of the week. And in a position there off the line that I didn't think I was in a very good one coming into that first corner, I've somehow salvaged it. And at the time of this right now, let's see how we can hang on to this. I don't know how I'm going to go in faring in chasing Alonso in front of me, although this baseball stadium section is always a bit of an equaliser. But look, I think I'm going to have some trouble coming into the main straight given how long it is and the power of this Ferrari engine in the back of the Sauber. But look, if we can just maintain this pace, we've got to finish in the top 17. I'm well ahead of that. But we're on a podium after the first lap. Great beginning. Now let's just stay on our racing line. And actually no, let's force them to go around the outside of me. We'll take the inside line. Ricardo will go ahead. Hamilton will also go ahead. But we will just do this. Plant it into there. And hello. Do you want to just come into the car and have a cup of tea with me there, bucko? That was a bit rude. Now, look, Hamilton's dropped way back. He's into 6th now. This is great news for Nico Rosberg in the championship. He is leading with Hamilton in 6th. That is going to be a huge chunk of points coming into the final 2 rounds. So maybe, look, if I keep fucking up here, let's help Nico Rosberg out in the championship. How about that? Sorry, Lewis Hamilton fans. But we've got to concentrate on the fact here that we're still in 3rd position. Now, we know our highest position so far this season was 2nd back in Canada after starting in pole. So this has been, so far, the biggest gain in positions, I believe, off the start. So, again, we can't get ahead of ourselves. I seem to be able to hold off cars in this section of the circuit, but that main straight, I am in trouble, particularly when the DRS comes into play, which, of course, will be next lap around. But if we can just hold that inside line going into the straight, then we should be able to maintain it. That's one thing that, again, I hope that with F1 2017, with the defensive nature of it, because, I mean, again, all I have to do here is plant it on the right-hand side, and I should get the inside line no matter what. Ricardo will go ahead of me, and we've got a Ferrari there, Vettel. They'll both go ahead of me, even with their speed. We're 3 abreast coming into turn 1. You just go on the brakes just a tad later. undercut a bit of the curb there, and that is how you can defend your position. So I'm hoping that the AI in F1 2017, they can, I mean, it would be great if they can kind of read that. So like after a lap or two, if they're like, okay, we know what you're going to do, like a real Formula 1 driver would, they can kind of counter your move and kind of dummy you into doing that so that they can then go around you. But again, maybe that's asking a little bit too much of AI in a game. I don't know. Codemasters, if you're watching, perhaps you can tell me how that works. I'm very glad that I've upgraded the fuel mix all season. We've got that to its maximum capability here, so I should not have any dramas with potentially running out of fuel. And, you know, bodes well for next season in upgrading, say, the engine and other parts of the car. Because, again, we're going to stay with Sauber for next season. We're going to see what other offers we get. But decided that we'll do 2 championships in the lead up to F1 2017. And we will stick with Sauber. We'll be loyal. We bleed blue and yellow, or red and white if you're Swiss. And we're just going to maintain it and see what we can do next season. Because I think we might expect wins next season. We're in 3rd at the moment, though. 3rd for a Sauber. And again, we're just going to maintain this. We're going to go straight onto the right-hand side. They're going to both have DRS. And, whoa, look at Ricciardo. Jesus, he's like literally bumming me right now. And that is aggressive because all these cars wanting to get past me and they can't, so they just completely just get, wow, that was, I've never seen a car do that before in this game. Ricciardo just came straight into me. I hope he damaged his front wing, the prick. Little aggressive little bastard. Just because you're Australian doesn't mean I'm not going to call you a name every now and then. But this is similar to the Trulli train, except it's the Waterworth train. And I'll tell you one thing, I seem to be actually hanging on slightly to Alonso. He's like ahead. I'm not going to get him by the end of this race. But he's also still in a picture in some of these. There, he's up there. I thought he would have pulled away a lot more. Now, Hamilton, for the championship, he needs to get ahead of both Vettel and Ricciardo. And judging on how aggressive they've been behind me, it wouldn't surprise me if he can get ahead of them. So keep an eye out for that. Again, I get very... Oh, I outbreak myself there. That's going to cost me some time heading into this baseball section. Now, if Ricciardo is game, he might throw one up there on the outside of me. I'm just going to cover the line well. Say no thank you, Buckaroo boy, you are not going to get there. I don't know what a Buckaroo boy is, just the words that came out of my mouth. Okay, final lap, heading into this main straight. Can I get my 2nd ever podium here? We're going to plant it once again on the inside. I get a good run into the main straight there, a bit more extra speed, but Ricciardo surely will just sweep down the left of me here. There he is, and can he pull away enough to maintain a gap to me? There's going to be Vettel's going to do the same if I outbrake him, though, coming into this. Oh, I'll tell you what, he's got a bit of a gap on me there, though, that he can do it. He's alongside of me. Vettel is coming there as well. Did Vettel get ahead of Ricciardo? No, that should be enough to hold on to this 3rd position. That's kind of the dangerous part that I was a bit wary about, although Ricciardo's got a bit more of a run here coming into this section. But again, oh, I think I braked too hard there. That could cause him to get a bit of a run on me there. He's gone right on my tail. This is tight racing, folks. This is tight. Very tight for me here to get another podium. I am aiming to get 10th position in the championship, which is a possibility if I get a podium here. Maybe a couple of last race podiums as well. Who knows? Ricciardo is still very close to me, though. He might be getting angry behind me, and he might shove one up the inside of me just because he's getting frustrated behind a bloody Sauber in 3rd position. If I could just plant it in the right position here coming into the baseball stadium, surely I can hold onto the podium. Surely I'll be tasting champagne. The streamers are going off in the stadium here. The Mexican flag colours are going off. Rosberg wins. His championship is still alive. Hamilton is well behind, so that will definitely bode well. If I can hold on here on the checkered flag, it'll be another podium. I've done it! 3rd position for Sauber. Only my 3rd points finish for the year and my 2nd podium, starting 9th on the grid. And 2 frustrated cars overtake me there for show. And for once, we actually get to see the podium celebrations. Dear old Toto is happy with it. Oh, that is a satisfying result. I am very happy with that. Rosberg, the winner. I'm happy too that he managed to take the win to really help his championship chances. The happy Mercedes crew. Good on you, Mercedes. Good on you. And there's Kimi Räikkönen. Yeah, he's not happy finishing 10th, folks. That is a bit unrealistic. Let's see this podium. There I am. Look at him pumping the fist. Ben Waterworth, Alonso in 2nd. Rosberg pumps the fist for victory. Great result. And an interesting trophy. And yeah, 2 podiums in his first season for Sauber. Very Perez-esque, but I think the Sauber was a little bit better in 2012. Just chilling with my mates Nico, chilling with my mates Alonso. Gee, I am ugly. But there we go. Fantastic result for the team, and we'll take it. So Rosberg, we'll take a look at the replay here actually, because I want to see how I got into where I did, because it was a very interesting start. Because again, I thought I was in a very poor position heading up into this first corner, because I planted myself on the outside line. Now I'm going wheel to wheel here with Raikkonen. Of course, I was a little bit scared about that. Aggressive Williams and a Red Bull there. Now what happens here? I late brake. I'm going to go 4 wheels off the circuit. I did get some warnings there, I believe. And now I've gone into this turn. We've got the Ferrari, McLaren and Williams there are all going to touch each other. You've got a Mercedes, McLaren and a Red Bull also. Kind of left a bit of an open door for me there. Then it's a Williams who's clipped me. That's Bottas. He's spun himself into the path of a Force India and his teammate. He's going to touch his teammate very much so there. It's all going on behind me. I've cut the curb big time there in an effort to try and get that move on Alonso. And somehow I've managed to stay on the track, keep my wing intact, keep penalty free. And as we approach the next turn up here, all the debris going on the circuit, I'm going to plant one down the inside of both Hamilton and Ricciardo. That's the move that gets me the podium. And you'll see Hamilton at some point here get shoved back, I believe. He had a bit of a move on me at some point from memory. As I just maintain that position, and yeah, okay, we don't need to see it. Anyway, that is how I get a third position in the Mexican Grand Prix. So your top three: Rosberg, Alonso, myself, Ricciardo, Australia, third and fourth. Great result. Vettel fifth, Hamilton all the way down in sixth position. Loses 17 points to Rosberg with 2 rounds to go. Verstappen in seventh, Button in eighth, Hulkenberg ninth, and Raikkonen all the way down there in 10th position. And apparently he was happy with that. So Hamilton, yeah, 10 points only over Rosberg. 2 rounds to go. This championship is on. Rosberg just has to win the last 2 rounds, and he's world champion. Ricciardo third, Vettel in fourth, Verstappen, Raikkonen, Alonso, Button, Bottas, Perez. I'm up into 11th place now, and I am now only 12 points off that 10th place that I crave. Can we do it, folks? Can we do it? 2 rounds to go. Can I get myself a top 10? Constructors, Mercedes obviously have won that already. Red Bull will take second in the championship. Ferrari will take third. McLaren will take fourth. Williams fifth. Force India sixth. Sauber in seventh. Doubt we can catch Sahara Force India, but we'll try. Haas in eighth. Toro Rosso 9th, Renault 10th, Manor yet to score. We'll be back for the Brazilian Grand Prix. 2 rounds to go. It's getting interesting. Very excited to have finished in third in the position here on Casual Gamer Oz. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, everything else in between. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back with you in Brazil.